Good students, how are you doing? I hope that you're all doing fine and super excited to be here in this lesson. Now, in today's lesson, we are just going to look at how to draw a budget using Microsoft Excel. All right. Now, I believe by now you all do understand exactly what is a budget. Okay. In the last lesson, we have defined a budget that a budget is mainly used by people like you, managers. Mainly, it estimates the total cost of a project. Once you have a budget, you are likely to have an idea on of how much a project that you're running might cost and so on. And we can also define it in a way that it's a total projected cost, right, to complete a project budget during a specific period with specific results and so on. So having said that, I think I've explained in the notes that I've given out to you that you can use projectmanager.com, right, to come up with a project budget. You can use Microsoft Excel, and you can also find quite a lot of templates on the internet that you can just edit and come up with your final budget. But today, obviously, I want you all to understand exactly how to come up with a budget using Microsoft Excel, even if it's just a simple budget that we're going to look at. Okay, so I don't really want this video to take long, so I'm just going to open Microsoft Excel, which is already open. So basically, to start it off, you might want to rename this workbook, so it's all up to you how you want to rename it. So we're just going to get a very simple exercise, for example, maybe a budget that has expenses and maybe income, and we want to find out the total, the total expenses, the total income, and our final balance, and so on, and also look at the different charts. Okay, now to start off, obviously you might want to rename the workbook, as I said, and you come here. I actually taught the students in our last lesson that you should be able to know how to read Microsoft Excel, because Excel is made out of letters and it's also made out of numbers. And where I'm currently at, if I click here, this cell here is called E3, meaning E here where they intersect, E3, that's the name of the cell, and so on. So having said that, let's start in B3. So your budget, it might have a description. I mean, budget also depends like what type of budget. Is this correct, or descriptions? Okay, you can either call it, these are headings, either a description or maybe items. I mean, that's all up to you on how you want your budget to look like. And I probably want a date there, and we'll want an amount. What else? Perhaps quantity, and then I'll probably want total, and then I want a balance. So the budget I'm doing is a budget that basically have expenses and income. So what I'm going to do to make this look interesting, I'm just going to merge and center this part here, and then I'll skip this column. I'll copy my headings here, copy, and then I paste them right there. Okay, and then I also merge and center this side. Okay, so the description might probably be a bit longer, and I mean, it all depends, like I've said, it all depends on what type of budget you are working with. Okay, now let's say for instance, maybe I'm running a project of of a computer lab and so on. So on the description, perhaps I will probably want to purchase computers. Okay, so you guys know accounting. I believe you guys are doing accounting, so you guys know better, right? Like on how, on the budget and all that. Then we have a server. Then maybe we will have a projector, and maybe we will buy some desks. What else? And maybe we need one whiteboard, and what else we need? Of course, we might need some chairs, right? Okay, so amount of computers, let's say 6. Maybe we need one server. No, this is the amount, right? Now let's say one computer. So I don't know, so it's all up to you. As I said, it all up to you, depending on what type of budget you're doing. This can, right now I might be doing an estimation budget or maybe an actual one. That's all depends from you. Sorry for this. Okay, now let's say, in other words, I'm just doing an estimation one, right? So let's say computers might cost 3,500. And by the way, you can have both estimation and actual on the same budget, just like we have it here on this project budget template that I've put on Moodle. You see, you have materials, you have labors here, and okay, now the one that is actually in your notes. Let's just try to open it. Okay, my internet is a little bit slow, but I hope it opens. Perfect. So you see, here's another different budget. So it all depends what type of budget you need. Like here I have actual, and I also have estimated. So if you want to put them together, you can. If you want to divide them, you can. So it's all up to you. It's all up to you to think of what type of budget you really want to come up with. But today's lesson, we're just going to look at something simple. And by the way, I'm going to put my other headings there, so that will be expenses, okay, and then I'm going to put income right there. Okay, now let's say 1/7 maybe costs 5,000, a projector maybe costs 2,500, one desk maybe costs 500, whiteboard probably costs 1,100, and chairs, let's say one costs 500. Now quantity of computers, let's say we need 6, server we need 1, projector, let's say we need 1 desk, we need 7 desks, a board, let's say we need 1 board, and chairs, let's say we need 7 chairs. Now a total, this is whereby we come in with calculations, then using Microsoft Excel, calculation magic and all that. I hope everybody knows things, especially for those that already had introduction to computer and so on. Now the total that we want to find here is by getting this amount and multiplying it by the quantity, right? Like how much will this cost? So the formula for that, one of the first rule that I always teach my students is that rule number 1, when you're doing calculation in Excel, always start with an equal sign. So equal sign, and then you click on this one, on the amount of the computers. You put multiplication, which is an asterisk on your keyboard, and then multiply by the quantity, which is D4. So this 3,000 is in D4 and this 6 is in E4, and then after that you press enter. So meaning 6 computers will cost us 21,000. So I can go ahead and do the same thing to find out the total cost of the server, same way as I did up there. I click there, multiply by this one, and then I press enter. But obviously there's no time for that. So if I have a formula and I want to do the same for all these, all I do is just click here in the corner, drag all the way, and it will give me the answers for everything at once. Now to find the balance, the first one is we need to click on this first one for computers, you press enter. The second one, equal sign, you need to click on the first balance, you add the second total of the servers, meaning the balance that I'm talking about is the one for adding everything. Like you add the computers, you add the server, you add the projector, you add the desk, and all the way, right? So if I add 21,000 plus 5,000, this should give us 26,000, right? Correct. So it's the same thing, I can do that, but obviously I don't have time to be putting formulas. So all I would do is drag again all the way down and get the answer. Then we are done there. Then we come to the income side. Where did we get our income from? Let's say we got this one from a sponsor. So sponsor 1. I have to put the date there, and then the amount. Let's say the sponsor 1 gave us 40,000. And maybe another income came from sponsor 2 and or client, it's all up to you. Maybe this one gave us like 25,000. Okay, so there we have it. Quantity is just 1 because I mean don't really need to put anything there. Total, obviously you want to calculate this too, so this one times same formula, so it will still give you the same because there's nothing to calculate. Balance just the same way as you did on the other side, and then of course equal sign, this one plus this one and it will give you. Why is it giving me that? Okay, let's see why it's giving me that value. Okay, all right, so it will be equal sign this 40,000 plus this one. Enter please. Now we are good. All right, so once you're done with this, obviously now you want to find out okay, let me merge and center this one. You want to find out the total expenses. Okay, so the total expenses will definitely be this last one, so it's just equal sign and boom, and you press enter. And then you want to find out, merge and center quickly here. You want to find out the total income, right? Okay, you come right here, and obviously the total income you want is the balance, which is here. You press enter, and then you might want to find out the balance, right? So the balance will probably be equal sign total income minus total expenses, and you press enter, and you have 28,400 left. So you haven't made any loss, so you're on the good track, and it's all up to you to make the final decisions. Now, okay, so from there it's all up to you now to format the tables. Okay, so I'm going to bold them. Okay, let's put color on that table. Can we use that? Can we use that? Okay, and then here, you can go to this bucket, theme color, and put blue. We're going to bold that, and bold the balance, bold the expenses, and probably just increase the size. And ooh, look at the way I spelled it, expenses. All right, and obviously you want to bold the headings too. Okay, there you have it. Yeah, I mean the formatting all depends from you. Now the interesting part one that we want is for us to have a chart, right? So I will take the description. I press on my control on my keyboard without letting go, and go to total, and then I go to insert, and then I go to recommended charts. So if I choose this format, it will look like this. If I choose this one, it will look like this. If I choose this, it will look like this. I'll prefer this one here, and I click OK. So imagine that you're giving a presentation and you obviously need to report, and with this chart you'll be able to read your budget. Oops, sorry. You'll be able to read your budget in a blink of an eye. You'll be able to look at the cheese. You'll be able to look at which one is costing more. Like in this budget, we know that our computers are costing more than anything else, and so on. And you can do the same for this one. So you highlight the sponsors. Maybe you want to see which sponsors, which sponsor, yeah, contributed a lot or something. Then you go to recommended chat. You choose which one you want. So whether you want that or that one, or that. Like I always like to work with that. So I click clustered bar. I can minimize it and put it all the way there. Okay, you see that? So there you have it. If you want to make any changes on it, you can change color. You can change anything you want, you know. It's all up to you to edit it if you want. Shadow, size, so you can change anything you want there. Border to, if you wanted to have a solid line, if you wanted to have a gradient line, or just an automatic. So same applies to this guy here. You also, if you want to make any changes, you can make the changes right there. Okay, so it's all up to you, and boom, there you have your budget, and you can present it right away. I hope this video did contribute to something, because now we are supposed to move on to the next session. And by the way, don't forget to add dates here when you receive the money. Very important. Remember, you are trying to keep track and record of everything, so do not forget that at all. And here obviously you can only put one date and so on. So there we have it. And for your homework, we'll probably ask you guys to probably come up with a certain budget using Microsoft Excel. So this is something that you can do as a, when you start working and you don't have any softwares into place. Rather than you using Microsoft Word, then you should know that it's always very much recommendable to use Microsoft Excel. Okay, so having said that, I wish you guys all the best for this session, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.